Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a new video. Today we have in the bottom right spawning as the blue Protoss player playing for Team Alpha X, Astrea. In the bottom left as the red ZERG player playing for Shopify's Rebellion, it is a Lambo. Astrea is a player that I respect a lot and I find very entertaining to watch because he plays like, well, he plays very special StarCraft 2. Okay, let me put it like that. He plays some of the wildest StarCraft 2 that I've seen in my entire life. He has build orders for days. None of them make any sense to me, but they always seem to somewhat work. At least he gets ahead very often off the back of his odd build orders. Nexus first gets thrown down here on the natural. That's already very different from what we're used to seeing. I think the standard play obviously is some type of Stargate opener from a gateway expand. Seeing a Nexus first into a gateway is something we just don't see very often. Actually, we basically never see that. There also was no pylon block on this base, so it's a Nexus first without a quick scout. That means that this would definitely die against any type of 12 pool. It would struggle mightily with a 16 pool as well, I do believe. Maybe you can get a fast Zealot out. Not so sure how that would work exactly, but none of that is the case here. I haven't played Nexus first in years. I remember back in the day, in like 2017, 2018, there was a period where Neeb told me, man, like, Kevin, you've got to play this. This is a great build. Like, you get so much money. But then I just stopped playing it after a while. Like, the early game is kind of tricky. It feels like it's easy to get scouted in it. And your tech is just very delayed. Now, of course, your eco is better, your nexus is faster. This means you can start mining from your natural base quicker. It also means that you can start producing extra probes quite a bit quicker, which is useful. Your cybernetics score is just delayed by, well, usually it finished now, and now there's still 20 seconds to go. So yeah, your tech gets delayed by about 20 seconds. And of course, some of that can be kind of, what would you call it? You can kind of compensate for it by having quicker chrono boost on your adepts, for example, which is probably what we will be seeing here, as it's a double gate opener. And the only way that the double gate is useful if you chrono boost the first two adepts. There's also some chrono in the main base as well, so that kind of was a giveaway. Yeah, adept into warp gate here. So Lambo sends his first two links across the map. There is a full wall, which means that a probe in the wall with a with sufficient minerals in the bank can block out two Zerglings. So you can send both of these adepts across the map straight away without any real issue. I love the Stalker adept follow-up as well. I'm a huge fan of that. Not necessarily because I think a third adept is super useful, but just having an adept in the wall so that the Stalker can always take out the Overlord if it wants to go in, I think is generally a good play. Look how little gas he's mining here. What is this? Two in this gas, one in this gas. Third gate going down. So we're seeing some truly American build orders at this point. Chrono boost on the cybernetic score as well. Pylon being built on the other side of the map. I feel like we're back in Wings of Liberty here with a 4 gate all-in off of 2 base. Well, I'm not even sure if this is going to be a real all-in or if it will be more of... Oh, it's gonna get spotted. More of just an adept warp in. It could be Stalkers, it could be Stalker Zealot. There's no Roach Warren. Actually, playing Stalker Zealot could be extremely powerful here. There really is some potential for that to do something. Lambo has spotted it, but he's not fighting the pylon for whatever reason. Perhaps he has spotted it with his link, but he wasn't really aware of it. 14 links now on the way. So Lambo jumps into action. A couple of adepts starts moving out. This pylon could still potentially warp something in. We have a bunch of adepts starting right now. So it's going to be a pure adept army. Third base is being taken with a quick nexus. The eco, of course, for Astrea is looking absolutely fantastic here. So a couple of extra adepts do end up finishing up here. 3 adepts, and they will stay alive. These adepts in the natural are dishing out some real damage as well. 4 or 5 workers falling immediately. They're still alive. A bit of a supply block here for Astrea, who's floating a crap ton of money. Double Stargate is a possibility. Forge Robo. No, Forge Twilight. Okay. This feels unsafe, but perhaps it's completely fine. A couple of links will go down. Drones finally get back to mining. 2 adepts in the third base. I was gonna say they're forcing drones away, but there's only 34 workers, so really they're not forcing anything away. This adept will get taken out by this queen, and Lambo will continue this game by droning on. I really like this build order here for Astrea. I think he's ahead. I mean, he's up in workers. He has good production already with these 4 gateways. Does need to be careful with adepts though, because links, when there's no glaives involved, do actually fight well against adepts majority of the time. Now these adepts will shade back into the third base. I think Lambo can fight this. Definitely would have been able to take out at least one of these adepts. Wanted to be careful, or perhaps just barely missed it on the mini-map. Lair is on the way as well, as Lambo has to be at least somewhat confused. Roach Warren, Evo Chamber, Blink here for Astrea. Okay. I'm not quite sure what I think of that. Generally not a huge fan of Blink builds. I'll just be honest here. I think majority of the time Blink is worse than not getting Blink. Because what Blink does is it kind of mentally forces and pigeonholes the Protoss into building Stalkers. And the Stalker is the worst unit that Protoss can build against ZERG. It doesn't trade really efficiently with anything that ZERG has. It's great if you can kind of surprise your opponent with 15 Stalkers and they only have drones and queens. Like in that case you can win, but unless you're really far ahead after an early game, majority of the time I think Stalkers are practically useless. Now there is an opportunity, of course. Oh, I like this Adept shade in. We'll be able to target a couple of drones. 2 workers fall immediately. These Adepts are going to get given up. I might like if we see Astrea park himself behind this gold mineral base and just deny these minerals from being mined. I mean, the worker count isn't that large. Get a robo bay behind it as well. I mean, we're on 6 gas already. Can definitely afford a robo base, second robo with this as well. Just deny the gold base. Take your own fort on the gold. I mean, why not? It's a lot of overlords here for Lambo. 8 to be exact. 68 workers in the bank, or on minerals and gas right now. Not in the bank. 11 roaches are being produced, as Lambo wants to perhaps roach max a bit here. Not so sure what his follow-up plan is going to be. 2 more gateways come in. Infestation pit gets thrown down as well. And Astrea, with these 6 adepts from earlier, wants to perhaps shade into a third base or in a natural. And here comes the Stalker push. Astrea with a fantastic start so far. Killed 8 workers. Had great eco all the way throughout this. Now the real question is going to be, will this follow-up be useful or will it be a major waste of money? I have seen Astrea play with a second forge before in these type of scenarios. Getting into charge, getting a second forge and being really heavy on gateway units. I don't mind this style, but I still believe there are better styles for Protoss usually. As Lambo starts building more and more Ravagers. Dark Shrine on the way before the fort base. Fort base should be at least in the plan, so as a Hydralisk then gets built as well. And Lambo most likely will start transitioning into a Lurker then from here on out. Infestation pit has finished, but Hive hasn't started yet. Oh, this is a cute move here. We'll try and force field the ramp. We'll actually get the first force field off. I can't believe what I'm seeing. 2 Ravagers get sniped, another Ravager goes down, 4 Ravagers have fallen so far, but this push will get cleaned up. Perhaps a recall here. Oh, that was a good movement. 1 Stalker will fall, but these bad boys can still blink down soon. There we go. The Prism also stays alive. The fort base gets cancelled though. So Lambo being active with the links on the other side of the map. More gas is being taken and we should see a quick round of drones. So the Dark Shrine, has it been spotted? It has not been spotted. Triple Stalker being warped in to try and deny that. Ooh, second forge. Yeah, this is exactly what I've seen before. This Overseer gets taken out before it ever really sees anything interesting. However, I feel like Lambo is somewhat aware of the fact that a Dark Shrine is a possibility. I mean, there has been no extra tech after the Mass Stalker. No Disruptors, no nothing. So DTs or Templars should definitely be the answer here. 5 Zealots get sent around. Second Forge about to finish up. And Shadow Stride. Blink DTs against ZERG is something we don't see every single day. It's actually something we don't see any day of the week. It's one of these things that is just really uncommon. Tends to not be so great. With the creep threat that ZERG has, with the map dominance, it is difficult to run away with DTs. You can maybe deal some damage. But if you blink in, there's an Overseer with Overlord speed. Like this can work once, but that's really about it. There are 4 DTs out right now. 2 of those bad boys are in a prism here. And the other DTs are just kind of moving around. They're trying to get in. And then, well, you can't move through mineral patches, my friend. To admire the confidence, though, as here comes the first DT. Overseer in the main base. We'll clean up this DT. Single worker goes down. So I think a DT here at the front also got taken out. This DT at the fort base should be able to get a couple of drones down. Blink forward out of Astrea. We'll take out a lot of these roaches here. And another blink forward snipes the Overseer. And that means that there's nothing here to detect this DT. This DT is going to dish out a lot of damage. Workers move away from the fort base into the third, where an Overseer is finally morphing. Good control on these drones, by the way, out of Lambo, making sure that he doesn't lose too much. We have another big warp. That's 5 DTs. I think are they aiming for the Lurker then or the Hive? No, Lurker then first, and I think they will be able to get it. If the Lurker then gets denied, that will be huge. That means that there will be nothing to really deal with these Stalkers. Usually the main counter of the Stalkers with this type of army comp is really going to be the Lurker, either the Baneling or the Lurker, but because there are range upgrades, Lurker just makes a lot more sense here for Lambo. These roaches are not being controlled whatsoever, just moving down the ramp, taking a lot of damage. Lambo still up 30 supply. These DTs morph into Archons, and well, one of them will fall, I think. Did it die? Yeah, while they were morphing. The other bad boy will survive as Stalkers stay in a forward position on the map. 81 workers currently for Astrea against the 66 for Lambo. Lambo, an inferior worker count, an inferior army composition. So Astrea is slowly but surely moving into those better upgrades as well. +3 being researched. We see the Chrono Boost already on the Forge, but there was no money yet for the upgrade that Astrea wanted to. There we go, armor now starts. So we're working towards a situation in which the Protoss will be up an entire 3 upgrades with 3-2 against 2-0. No carapace, no +3 attack. And that means that the Lurkers are going to be absolutely vital here for Astrea to build, or for Lambo to build. I mean, if you have worse upgrades in an army where you just have pure Roach Hydra against gateway units, majority of the time you're just not going to be winning. As another big salad run by Gets into the main base. The complete lack of creep that Astrea has been denying this entire time makes this type of play possible. Hive is going to get sniped here, no transfuse available, but the Roaches will be able to clean up this army. Once again, gold is getting denied as the couple of first Lurkers are now being morphed. Seismic Spines halfway done as well. Actually slightly over halfway done already. 5th base being thrown down on the gold. As Astrea's playing this like a Zerg, just playing cheap units that he can throw away, has a superior eco, is getting better upgrades, and Lambo is the one camping here, trying to get into them Lurkers, trying to get that army out that is superior, that will be able to beat whatever it is that Astrea's building. Observer will provide the detection that will help take out that one Lurker. And I honestly I've seen Astrea play before like this, but I've never seen it off of this opener. I'm a huge fan of this opener. I think it's really cool to play some Nexus first stuff into just 4 gateways. It's a build we don't see ever. Like literally just ever. 5 more workers on the way. Stargate, second Robo Bay. This should be for Disruptors. I've seen Colossi before though, and I'm afraid for that. I think Colossi would be a huge error. It would be a mistake at this point. So you have a couple of extra DTs marching around. 6 DTs with that Shadow Strike should be able to blink out at any point that they want to. Lambo just wants to get into a good position. And if he gets in a position with Lurkers, no matter how many Stalkers you have, no matter how many upgrades you have, life is going to suck for you. 5 extra Zealots get warped in. Super Battery gets used as well. Blink forward. And I think Astrea might want to snipe these Overseers. At the same time, these DTs are dealing a fair amount of damage. 4 more DTs moving in towards the Natural as well. Overseer en route towards that 4th base will instead stop at the Natural. Try and save this Lurker, then will not quite be able to do it. No, will barely just survive. 42 HP, 1 more slash of a DT and it would have died here. Blink forward. Astrea wants to snipe these Lurkers, but is not capable of doing just that. 46 drones right now for Lambo against 81 for Astrea, who's playing absolutely Zerg. Like, will lose this base, needs to give it up, but it's just harassing with these DTs, keeping them alive. Does he get the blink out here? I do think he gets to. Hello, Shadow Strike, there we go. Jumps over the mineral patches. 20 workers going down on the side of Astrea right now, who all of a sudden is down 40 supply, still has 1.5k in the bank, 600 gas as well. Starts, well, is this a base trade now? I guess we're semi-base trading. These 3 DTs managed to go to safety. Blink forward. There is no Observer with this army currently. It's a bit in the back. Any type of Lurker at home could be extremely helpful here for Lambo. Sadly, not a single Lurker here with this Roach army. 3-2 upgrades against just +2. Don't even think Lambo is on Hive. No, he is on Hive. Can get the +3 if he wants to, but just doesn't quite have the money for it. 45 workers. Once again, Lambo managed to make it into his opponent's natural base, which is huge. Extremely useful here for the Zerg player, who's still up 30 supply. Managed to kind of even up that worker count as well. A couple of Roaches are being sniped there. I actually think Astrea should go for it. I think this is the only chance for Astrea. Astrea is in between 2 armies. Needs to decide what side to jump on. And he goes for the side that's currently on his side of the map. Ooh, he eats a bunch of biles here. That is what we would consider an error. Still 45 against 43 workers. And if this lurker amount dies, that would actually be really bad here for Lambo. Observer is in position. A bunch of these lurkers will go down. Zealot's marching down the ramp right now, as all of these roaches also will get cleaned up. So Lambo once again gets forced into a defensive position, while Astrea, I'm not quite sure how he did it, still has 5 Nexi going. One of those Nexi is a gold base. That means that although he has less workers currently, he will be mining at least more minerals than his opponent. I think Lambo's doing slightly better in the gas department. There's no gas being mined from the natural. There is some gas, but not too much being mined from the main base. And the 4th and the 5th are completely empty. So it's like 2 bases or 1.5 bases of gas. A lot of zealots here being sent in. I'm not a huge fan of this many zealots just being sacrificed for a single base. That was a big cost there. That really was a big cost. And ooh, I do like this bit of multitasking though. This might allow a hive snipe, and that's useful because that could kill vipers. This seems like the opportunity or the ability to get vipers, of course. Seems like an opportunity for some of these disruptors to start getting produced as a single DT. Now 2 DTs here in the 3rd base. Man, Lambo is getting absolutely blasted here by Astrea, who has been in very firm control of this game from the start. Lambo somehow, some way is trying to make it work with these lurkers, but it's not easy, and Astrea is not making it easy either. 4 lurkers in the main base right now as another 10 DTs get warped in, and this is the difference between Lambo and Astrea. Lambo has no money and Astrea seems to have infinite money, and he's spending it all on DTs, zealots and stalkers. There's 2 more DTs here on top. I think Lambo just spotted those bad boys, and we'll try to take him out. 1 DT, 2nd DT. Can we blink? Can we blink? Can we blink? Yes, we can. These bad boys will be able to blink out 4 lurkers now. Moving on to creep. If Astrea pays attention, perhaps he can take 1 or 2 out. Blinks on top of him. 3 go down. And that does mean that the blink is gone here. 5 will turn back and try to escape. I like that a lot. I really love that play. These overseers need to be split as well. Lurkers trying to chase. DTs are not getting controlled. 5 DTs will fall. At the same time, though, these roaches also not getting controlled. And the DTs in the main will still be able to take out the Hydra den. We'll go for a Hydra den, followed by maybe killing that lurker then? No. Instead we'll opt for that recall. Single Archon will get taken out. No. All Archons make it out. DT also stays alive. And once again the Stalker's moving forward. Very superior eco here though for the American Protoss player. As Lambo currently mining off of a base and a half. Well, not even really. There's what 6 patches here. There is 3 patches in the natural as well. There's no other bases. And this is a real issue. There's a crap ton of lurkers, and lurkers against these gateway units are still going to be very useful. 1 lurker does get sniped there. Astrea needs to be careful. Snipes an overseer as well. Waiting for these DT warp-ins, obviously. 5th base once again being retaken here for the American TOS player. But the Archons are tanking a fair amount of damage. I'd love to see another run by. Yep, here we go. This is definitely the correct play. I think... Ooh! This is what needs to be done. Every single time these lurkers unburrow, one of them needs to get sniped. Archons will die in this engagement, I believe. One of them goes down. 2nd one goes down as well. 5 lurkers still alive. Blink forward, and Astrea thinks he can actually clean this up. I'm not so sure if he can. He's trying to take out all of these lurkers. There's a single observer still alive. At the same time, Zealot's taking out absolutely everything over here. A bunch of roaches kill 20 probes. GG gets called. And Astrea making this weird pure gateway style work. And if we take a look at the unit lost here, the only non-gateway unit that he has been building is the Prism and the Observer. He really has been playing this like he's a ZERG player, but with Terran level tech. Just high eco, high upgrades, and very basic units just from that initial structure. Now, of course, DTs, 23 DTs in an 18-minute game against ZERG is something we definitely don't see every single day. Cool style, and yeah, I'm a big fan of this. Looks very, very interesting. All of these weird little build orders that he has makes me believe that there are some possibilities that perhaps I and the other top tossers are not quite aware of. Alright, that's going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to like button, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thank you, and bye-bye.